Hi there, my name is Donna Marie and welcome to my channel, Healing Readings by Donna Marie. Today I'm doing the initials E, N, and W, so if your initial starts with an E, an N, or a W, this message is for you. This is for the month of July 2026. I've changed up my format a little bit. I've pre-shuffled the cards and laid them out. And so then we're not wasting time in the shuffling. So let's get started right away so we don't waste any time. So for the initial E, let's see what we have. Okay, we have the anchor, we have the woman, and the mountain. Okay, so let's start off with the kind of overall here. So it's with the mountain, this is endurance, this is patience, this is overcoming obstacles and delays, and it's kind of your inner strength. So if we start off with the anchor, this is kind of your what's in the past and kind of what's brought you here. What's your foundation? And this is stability, it's commitment, it's work, it's security. It's like with the anchor, this is kind of like where you set yourself. As in when you're on a ship and you lift anchor, you can go anywhere in the world and then drop anchor, and you can stay in a port or you can stay in a bay. You can decide where you're going to go. It's, you know, you are rooted. This is something, this could be anywhere in relationships or in your long-term goals and responsibilities. This could be your work. This could be, you know, where, you know, with the initial E, this shows that you're very dependable. You're determined. You know where you want to go. And it's, at times things have, you know, you've really weathered some storms. But it is now, just as you know, this is now starting to come to pass. And, you know, you're looking for security rather than something happening quickly. You're looking for security. And then this is your present, and this is the woman. So if you are female, this could be you, or this could be a significant female in your life. And for the month of July, there might be somebody, a woman, making decisions that will actually, it may affect you some way, somehow. And, you know, this might be reflecting within the soul. This is what do you truly want? Where do you want to place your energy? Where should you invest yourself? And, you know, this is about trusting your instincts, and you are in control. You get to choose where you want to stay and where you want to go. But with the mountain, this is sometimes is obstacles and delays. So if you're waiting for anything legal, it's going to take some time before you get any decision. And if you're working through some dilemmas or things that might be something that you're waiting on, you're dealing with some legal matters, this might be that you might have to persevere, you might have to keep going, you have to keep trying. But it does mean success after a long journey of, you know, of really putting the work in. So, you know, but it's temporary financial delays. It's only temporary though. The difficult, it might be communications, you might be, you know, going back and forth, and it might be communications that really make you emotional, because once again the anchor is within the water, so it shows that brings up the emotional side of things. So you might be having conversations that are very emotional, but you know, this is taking one step at a time. If you try and push it quickly, it won't happen. You'll just get frustrated in the end. So just remember taking your results, taking, you know, step by step. So this is resilience and loyalty, and you're committed to things. This is you building a secure foundation, secure future. And then when the mountain, it's going to, you know, you may feel like you're getting blocked or that there's burdens, but if you keep going, circumstances will change. So this is also showing you your inner strength of what can you do to stand up for yourself, work through that challenge. You're going to work through that challenge. And this persistence is, you know, if you keep going, you are going to win out in the long run. And you are putting in groundwork. You're putting in a solid foundation. So when this is, if it's in regards to like your career and finances, you know, it's telling you to stay the course, you know, keep slowly moving ahead, and it's steady effort. It'll pay off later. And you don't, right now it's almost like you're feeling like you're not getting any gratification right now, but keep going, because, you know, don't make impulsive moves. Just, you know, slow and steady wins the race. And then within relationships, this is like there might be a bit of emotional distance right now. There may be some difficulties. Somebody's not opening up, but there's going to be patience and understanding that it's going to be needed on your end. And just be there for that person. If you are in a relationship and they're kind of struggling, just be there for them, because it will pass. There's going to be we don't always have a smooth path. Sometimes we have to work through some things, and it just shows us our resilience. It shows us, that you've got the strength to do so. So, you may be tested. It may feel like you're getting tested, or that, like, why are things feeling so frustrated? So do the things that you can do easily and, get that done. And then, so at least you feel like you've gotten somewhere ahead. And then what you have to kind of keep working at it, because you will succeed. So for the initial E, I know July sounds like it's going to be daunting, but, just keep persevering, because you are going to win out in the long run. And remember, this is only for the month of July. This is temporary. It's not long term. So now for the initial N. Let's see the cards that you got. Okay, so you got the Tower, the Ship, and the Clouds. I think the N goes that way. Okay, so first off, with the Tower. The Tower, this is independence, it's institutions, it's authority, it's sometimes solitude. Sometimes putting yourself in a tower is like kind of distancing yourself from people. This could also be healthcare, education, putting in healthy boundaries, because when you're at the top of the tower, you can see across, you can see what's in the horizon. Then your ship, the ship is movement, and it's travel, expansion. Things are changing. Things are, and this could be that you're going to be doing some traveling in July. New opportunities may be coming in. You might even have new ideas, new thoughts coming in. This is also emotional. And then the Clouds, well, the Clouds can be confusion. You know how you have foggy days and you just can't quite see clearly. You may have a few days like that in July. That is, you might be having difficult time making decisions, or but this is only temporary. So you might have a little bit of, you know what you want to do, you know where you're going, you're starting to make the move, but it's like, but where am I going to go? So this is like, think it through. So you're going to be moving away from, situations that were always this way. You're going to travel. You might be asked to travel for work. You might be, and it might be, well, we need you to travel, but we don't know how long or when exactly that you're going. So make travel plans for the future, and you might have some delays. You might have some things that are kind of putting a bit of a damper on. The clouds are kind of damp and dreary, but you will be moving forward. You will be, it's just that communications just might be a little bit clouded right now. Your thought process might be a little bit clouded. Things are moving, things are changing. So sometimes when things are changing, you get really muddled in the head. It's it confuses. It's and this could last for 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. But I'm thinking it's going to be for about 6 weeks. That you're going to, things are going to be moving. You're going to be, new opportunities are going to be coming into you. So in regards to career, this is like, you might change your career, or things in your career may be changing. You might be changing jobs or relocating to a new position. You might be relocating to a new office. You might be pursuing new opportunities. And you may be getting some information that is going to come up within the month of July. So, you're going to need to probably move fast on if you're going to apply for a new position. But you might feel emotional of, I want to stay, but I want to go. So, but don't jump to conclusions. Just take one step at a time. If you're feeling a little bit cloudy in the thought process, write it down. And then, this is also, this is saying don't make any major decisions. But if you know that things are going to be, like if things are unclear, don't make a major decision. Just wait it out. But continue gathering information. Because the confusion will lift. But if you know that, yeah, I'm moving, or I feel like I'm getting messages, but I'm not sure which direction to go into. Just wait, because you're going through transition right now, and your path forward might not be fully visualized yet because of the clouds. When you're in the tower, you can't quite see because of the clouds. So just have a little bit of patience. The fog will lift, and you will find your way. It's just that things will be moving. Changes are happening. It might be, it's just you're in that phase of transition, and that usually sends people into, but I'm not quite sure exactly where yet. You're not there yet. So this could be 6 days, 6 hours, 6 minutes, 6 weeks. I don't see it past 6 weeks. I'm thinking it's probably about 6 days within the month, or 6 days into the next month, into August, that fogginess, but it will clear, because things will get very clear. You'll know which way to go, and you'll know where your emotions, you might be getting that gut feeling of where should I be going. Your spiritual messages will come through. They're just a little clouded right now. So now let's go with the initial W. So for the initial W, this is, let's see what we have for you. We have the scythe, we have the birds, and we have the whip. Ooh, somebody's got control this month. So some things are coming to an end. This could be a little bit intense, because this is centered on communication. So there might be sudden developments that are happening, or there might be some conflict, and there's going to be some fast movement happening. And so first off, with the scythe, this is sudden things things happen quickly. You might have to make some decisions very quickly. There might be some things ending. You might be cutting away people or things that no longer serve you. And you're going to be making quick decisions. It's going to be some unexpected changes. But with the birds, and you're going to have some conversations. There might be messages that you are getting, or you might be called into some meetings. You might be feeling anxious. It might be people around you that are feeling anxious, because you're going to have conversations with, sometimes with your significant other, or with your superiors at work. It might be with co-workers, but communication is going to be the key. You need to, if there is misunderstandings, don't jump to conclusions. Just wait it out, because there might be some emotions that are going to be running high for the month, and it might not be you having the emotions, but it might be people around you. So just remember, clear communication is going to be key. And then the whip, this is like, this is disagreements or tensions. Some people might be discipline needed. Some things need to be addressed. And it could be arguments, or, there might be some communications that you need to be honest and just be persistent, be clear, concise with your communications. So this might be unexpected, the calling into a meeting, or messages coming in, phone calls, conversations, information coming in. There might be some surprises, and it's quick information, and and then but it might be in regards to a recurring conversations or recurring issue. It might be that an employee might be constantly doing things incorrectly, and how many times have we trained this person, or how many times or there might be the same errors, same mistakes going on. So what is it that we need to fix? What clarity do we need to bring in? What conversations do we need to have? So remember, there's going to be some misunderstandings. Don't jump to conclusions. Just kind of, if you need to, journal things, write things down, make it clear, and repeat. If somebody's giving you direction, repeat it, saying, I heard this particular, make sure that it's, your communications are clear, and ask the person, if you're having a conversation with somebody, can you please repeat, what did you hear out of that conversation? What do you get out of this? And so there's going to be decisions made by the end of the month. There's going to be, if there's been a long-term kind of commotion or conflict, or there might be some, ending of some unhealthy patterns or some unhealthy things that have been happening. So with careers, this could be like conversations at work that could, plans could change, expectations could change. There might be some try to keep calm and measure what you are saying, like weigh out what before you say something. Just don't react. Like try to talk positively, try and have a positive outcome. If things need to change, say, hey, let's brainstorm, what can we bring together. And in relationships, it could be that there's you need some honest conversations happening. There might be some unresolved tension. There might be somebody holding a grudge that you need to have that conversation, so it can finally be addressed, so it can finally be talked about. And spiritually, sometimes you don't need to react all the time. Sometimes it's just have a pause, just kind of just think things over. You don't have to respond right away. So your spiritual guides may be telling you, just listen to what's being said right now, document it, keep it on the burner, and then address it at a later time. But things are going to be moving quickly. So this is a bit of a transformational month, because things are going to be shifting. And this is, you're going to be breaking old patterns. You're going to be breaking old communication patterns. You're going to be addressing issues directly. It's going to be communication and talking. And, it's almost like we can't carry on like this anymore. We have to talk this out. We have to work it out. And things, and if things change, it's for the better, because you're going to be, at the end of the month, it's going to be much clearer. You have a much more stronger sense of where your direction is going. And if it's like, if your employment changes, just remember that this is to bring you somewhere else where you belong. Same with relationships. So now I'm just going to switch up the camera, and here we go. So thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate everyone. So I'm just going to do a collective read now, and this is for the initials E and W, your collective reading for the, oops, I'm not flying out. And this is witchcraft, curse, negative energy, constant rejection, string of bad luck. This is now coming to an end. In July, this is where we all make the decision. Do I want this to carry on, or would I like this to end? And if we are looking at the tough communications for like the initial W, this is, it's time to end all of this. It might feel like you have a curse, like with the initial E. It feels like, oh my gosh, it's like who's put a curse on me? Things are a difficult climb through the month. This is because it is changing. You are no longer going to be keeping the burdens on. And same with the initial N. Cloudy thoughts, and so this is coming to an end. Your string of bad luck is coming to an end for the month of July. Just remember, you just need to persevere, get through the month of July, because everybody's going through this quantum leap of energy. We're going to a new, what works for me, what doesn't. So now you have decided that this is it. I am changing things. I am not carrying on this way. Because can you see yourself doing this in 30 years? Can you see yourself going through this all the time? Like a lot of times we can't just carry on. We have to let it go. So for the initials E and W, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers. I wish everybody a very wonderful July, because this is going to be transformative for everybody to no longer, there's going to be really good outcomes in the end. I thank everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.